G'day guys and gals, welcome back. Gamer coming at you with another video on modding Skyrim. Now, I've gotten another comment about SKSE and SkyUI not working together. And apparently another comment, this is an old comment, but another comment saying that, yeah, SKSE isn't, releasing any more updates or anything like that. So yeah, as of the 1st of the 10th 2018, which is the date of me making this video, I've got everything working fine. So I don't know what problems other people are facing. One of the commenters was saying that they use WinRar, they don't use 7-zip, so they're wondering if that's why it's not working for them. But yeah, in this video, and by no means is it going to be a short video, so for those of you who watch mine for the short videos, I'm sorry. I will leave timestamps below, so if there's a particular part about this whole process that you find interesting, you can just skip straight to it. If you want to see the whole thing start to finish, by all means, watch the whole thing. If long videos and this is just one of those time filler things, then by all means click off, watch something a bit more interesting. But pretty much what we're going to be doing in here is I'm going to be covering the install of SKSE and SkyUI, and yes, I too get a sense of Groundhog Day. I'm pretty sure this is probably my third video on how to install the same two mods. But as long as people are having troubles doing it, if I can help them do it, I don't care how many videos it takes, I'll keep helping them. But I'm hoping this will be my sort of definitive video on the subject where I show how to do it manually and how to do it with a mod manager. And not only that, when it comes to the manual, I'm going to show how to do it with WinRar here. And I'm going to show you how to do it with 7-zip. There is also, I'm also planning to do a Steam version because someone told me that apparently you can use Steam to install some of these mods. Now, I did not know that before today, and I'm not too sure how to do that, so I'll probably look into that and do sort of like an update to this where I show the Steam version, but that will be a video all of its own. I want to sort of figure out how to do it first, learn how to do it before I start telling other people how to do it. I don't want to just go at it blind. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, we want to install SKSE64. Now, to do that, you can do it one of three ways that I've found and that I use. We'll get rid of that. You can, first up, follow my link that I'll have in the description below for the Skyrim script extender. Alternatively, you can do that, bring up Google, go to Google, and then in Google just type in SKSE, and there's their website, skse.silverlock.org. Oh, pardon me. Click on that. If it's like .com or .org, .au or .org.com or anything like that, I'm not saying those websites are bad or anything like that. I'm just saying it's not the website. It's not the original website, and I can't recommend it or testify to the validity of said website. This is the official website. This is where I've always gone, and this is where I'll continue to go for as long as they continue to update the mod. Now, I did have a commenter saying that they'd never download this because it's not on Nexus Mod Manager, and I got to admit that is fair enough. When I first started modding, I said the same thing. I found Nexus Mod Manager, it had raving reviews, I trusted it. I didn't trust any other websites. It wasn't until I started really exploring into mods that I found that there's actually a fair few that you've got to go off-site for to get. So like SKSE, for example, E&B is another one. And for those of you who don't know, the E&Bs on Nexus, they do a good job, but they're presets. To really unlock their potential, you actually have to go off-site and download the actual E&B mod, which unlocks the full potential of them. So you're really doing yourself a disservice if you don't download SKSE. I don't know why it's not on Nexus. I'm sure there's a reason. It's probably too big or whatever, or they're a company and a company might not be able to put their stuff on Nexus. So I'm not too sure why. It's probably plain as day to a lot of people, but I just didn't look into it all that much. But yeah, like hundreds and thousands of people use these builds daily, and they're not having any dramas. So don't take my word for it. Jump on Nexus. Heck, email the help team at Nexus and ask them, is this safe to download? And they'll turn around and tell you like it's safe. It's essentially a must-have for a lot of mods. If you want to use SkyUI, it is actually a requirement in order to use SkyUI. So if you're trying to use SkyUI but not script extender, SkyUI is not going to work. Or if it does work, you're not going to get the full functionality. When this first came out, when Skyrim Special Edition first came out, SKSE was not available. And I remember in order to use SkyUI, I had to use a Skyrim version of it. And I don't want to say hack it, but I had to install it funny, and the search functionality wasn't the best. You couldn't really use the hotkeys, otherwise you'd run the risk of crashing your game. And there was just so many headaches involved. And then once Skyrim script extender came out, and SkyUI got its first proper update, yeah, it all went well, and a lot of my problems went away. But anyway, moving on. So you can go to my link, which will send you here if my link's not working or you don't trust my link. And by all means, if you're new to any of my videos, then you shouldn't trust me. You shouldn't trust anything I say as law. Do your own research, go somewhere you trust, and follow their link. Alternatively, Google, which led me here, or Nexus. If you're downloading mods off of Nexus, then you obviously trust Nexus. Find a mod like SkyUI 5 that requires it, and they'll actually give you an off-site link, the hyperlink. You just click that, and it will take you to the website. So same website, 3 different ways: my way, Nexus way, Google way. All the same website, all the same doc. Oh, sorry, all the same web link. So I can get rid of this one now. So what you want to do is download Skyrim Script Extender. So this top one here is for Skyrim. The middle one is for Skyrim Special Edition. The bottom one is for Skyrim VR, so virtual reality. If you're using Skyrim, you want the top one. If you're using Skyrim Special Edition, you want the middle one. Oh, pardon me. If you're running Skyrim Virtual Reality, you want this one, the bottom one. Now, I'm not too sure for VR because I don't have Oculus Rift or any of that. So I've never done anything with VR. But the way to install SKSE for Special Edition is the same as SKSE for normal Skyrim. The only difference in the naming is if I was to download this, it would say SKSE. Downloading this one, it'll say SKSE64. So if you've downloaded it and it just says SKSE, chances are you've accidentally hit on the wrong one. You want to download the middle one, and when you've downloaded it, it will read as SKSE64, as we're about to see. So you want to hit the 7-zip archive. You'll get a little pop-up down the bottom here. You can hit save, which will send it to your downloads, or alternatively, if you've set up your computer to send your downloads to a particular folder or file or wherever, it'll send it there. I haven't bothered setting that up because I download different mods for different games and I send them all to different places. So I'm going to hit the little arrow, which will pop up that little thing that says save as. Click that. And then I'm going to go to manual mods list, SKSE64 build 1.5.50, which is exactly here. I've already got it, but I'll override it. Hit save. You won't get this pop up. I'm getting this pop up because the file that I'm downloading is the exact same file that I've already downloaded. Now I'm going to hit yes to override it because there's no dramas with that. You won't get this. It'll just automatically start downloading. If at a later point you do get this when you're trying to update, then chances are the version you're running is the version they have available that is the most up-to-date version. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to manually download SkyUI 5. Manual download. We're up to version 5-2. Yes, download. Same thing. I'm going to hit the arrow, save as. Except for this time, I'm going to send it to SkyUI. And I've already downloaded it, but save. Again, you won't get this message unless you've already downloaded it. If you haven't downloaded it, it'll just automatically start downloading. And there's that. So we're going to drop this down. First, I'll just, the files have finished downloading. Wunderbar. And then we're going to get straight into it. Okay, so first up we want to download, we want to install SKSE64. So, right click on it, 7-zip, extract to here, it'll extract it, put it into its own little folder, hunky dory, away you go. I'll get rid of that. Okay, now WinRar. I've spoken about 7-zip that much. I'm only lightly going to touch on 7-zip because I've spoken about it before and I'll speak about it in the future, whereas WinRar I won't touch on all that often, so I'll go into a bit more depth with that here. So with WinRar, same thing, right click, go extract to SKSE64. So what that'll do is that will essentially open it up, extract all the files and put it into its own little folder. Right there. Everything's there. We're all good. Now, if you right click on your zip folder and you don't have any of these options for whatever reason, don't panic. That's okay. You have your WinRar.exe. So the icon that you go to launch WinRar. Have a shortcut to it on your desktop, or if it's in a folder, open up the folder, have it next to where you're working, and just grab the folder, drag it over, and drop it on top. It'll open up WinRar, it'll open the zip folder, and then you can explore it. All the files there, yep. And then up here you'll have extract to. Click that, you select where you want it to extract it to, you click OK, so we'll just say desktop, hit OK, and away it goes. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like this for you guys, but it was like this for me. It's just dumped everything on my desktop on my other screen. So I'll put all that there for you, like that. So there's a good chance it could unpack everything and not have it neatly in its own little folder, which I find a bit annoying, but I've probably selected something wrong. But look, regardless, everything's there. Everything you need is right there. You just grab it, drop it into a folder that you've labeled SKSE64, and away you go. So there's that way. So now that we've got our zip unzipped, we're going to go into it. And essentially, we're going to copy everything here over to here. So to do that, we're going to hit and hold down the control button, the CTRL button. And we're going to highlight the DIL folders and the .exe folders. Essentially, if you have known extensions turned off and you don't see .dil and .exe and you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay. By all means, just do this. Highlight absolutely everything, drag it over and drop it in. It is okay to have these other files in there. This one, I believe, is for modders and modders resources. I throw that in there anyway, just in case I'm wrong and there is actually something in there. I just like to throw everything in there. There's no harm in having it in there. As for these two, they're just Word documents. So they're literally going to do nothing to your game. So SKSE what's new .txt is just a text. It tells you what's new in the update. So I'm just going to clean this up because eventually there will be a lot of files in here for me. So I do want to keep this as clean as I can. This is the install, the how-to. So if you want, follow this video and by all means have this up. Read this first, follow this instead of my videos, or do it in conjunction with. But for now, I'm just going to drop that over there because I don't need it. Okay, and that's it. SKSE64 is installed. Now, a little bit of a rant, I guess. From here on out, this right here, SKSE64_loader.exe. By the way, if you can't see exe or the other known extensions, just come up here to view and make sure you have file name extensions ticked. If it's unticked, you won't see all the extensions. See how I lost the .exe? Well, I think because I had .exe highlighted, it just hid all them. No. For some reason .dil's still showing up. View, hide extensions. No, anyway. So if you're seeing this, you're not seeing any whatever I'm on about. That's okay. Come up to view. Make sure that's checked. And then you'll see the .vdf, .dil, .ini, .dil, .exe, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, from now on, you want to launch Skyrim from SKSE64_loader.exe. Now, I'm not too sure if this is still a thing, but as far as I'm aware, you need to load Skyrim once from its executable, and then just do that from Steam. I clicked that by accident. Get rid of that. Sorry about that. Library, you want to load it once. It'll usually, if it's a first time install, it'll do its little checking your system, blah, blah, blah thing. Exit. What that does is that just creates the ini files that are needed, yada, yada, yada. So what you do now is right click on skse.loader. And you want to go to send to, desktop, and in brackets create shortcut. And what it will do is you can actually see it's gone off screen onto my other desktop. So you can see just a little bit of the SK there. Drag that over here. I don't know why it likes dropping things over there. It irritates me. And that's where you're going to want to launch it from. Now you can put this anywhere you like. You don't even need to have that there. You can just have a shortcut to your special edition Steam library, and you can just launch it from there if you want. I like to do it from here so there's no confusions. I don't have desktop icons for this, like shortcuts for these, because essentially once I install SKSE, these become absolutely useless to me. So that's where you're going to launch it from now on. If you don't launch it from there, SkyUI won't work properly. If you don't launch it from the SKSE64 _loaded.exe, then any other mod that requires Skyrim script extender will not work. And if it does, it won't work properly, or it'll cause problems later on in the game. So just launch it from there. Okay, now time to install SkyUI. Got our most recent build right here that we downloaded. Right click. Same thing. Extract to here. Blah, blah, blah. Why is it doing that? There we go. Extract to here. Extract here. That one will actually extract everything inside that and dump it here. That one will extract everything from inside there and create a folder called SkyUI blah 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 and dump everything into that folder. That's how I like it set up. You might just like it dumped in there. That's cool too. Or do it the other way that I showed you, where you grab, drag, drop, etc. Now we're coming into here and we pretty much want to drop everything in this folder into the data folder. Data, however you want to pronounce it. I don't care, whatever floats your boat, you do you, yeah? Okay. Dump into there. That's it, we're done. SkyUI is installed. Okay, Skyrim script extender is installed. Now we're going to launch the game, go in game and check the integrity of the game pretty much. As usual, I'll be using my Jack build, I believe it is my unmodded one, to test it all out. And yeah, there you go. So I'll see you in game. Okay guys, here we are in game. We're going to check to make sure SKSE64 is working. Now we're doing that first because we can do that from this screen, and secondly because if SKSE64 isn't working, SkyUI isn't going to be working. So to do that, what you want to do is hit your tilde key. That is the key located above the tab, but to the left of the 1. I am using a UK, US, Australian keyboard. Don't know, just what I call your average keyboard. But your keyboard may vary. I did have one helpful commenter in my previous videos who did give me the symbol for another country's keyboard. But if you know how to access the console command, then you hit that key. That's the key that you want. So pretty much you'll see this, how that just got darker, and you'll have this little flashy line right here. Okay, so that's how you know you're in the right spot. So whatever key you use to bring that up, that's the key that you're going to use. So bring that up and then type in get SKSE version and hit enter. Oh. So get SKSE version and then hit enter. It's not case insensitive, I don't believe, so you can do a capital G, capital S, capital V, or capital G, lowercase the rest or whatever. As far as I'm aware, it's not case insensitive. That's just how I write it. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about the constant burps. I'm a little gassy today. I'm a bit under the weather and anyway, I won't bore you with those details. So you hit enter and there it is. SKSE64 version 2.0.8, which is the version that we are currently running. Okay, hit tab. Oh, sorry, the tilde key, not tab. You hit the tilde key, remove it, and you're good to go. So, after this, we want to pretty much go in-game as per usual. I'll be using my jack because, as you can see, I'll just go back. As you can see, apart from this one where it's pretty much right at the very start, this is the only save that I have that is unmodded. Now, why do I want to use an unmodded save when I'm testing mods? Well, that's simple. A modded save requires, well, it doesn't necessarily require those mods that you had previously installed to work, but it can cause instability in the game if you suddenly remove all those mods and then try and continue on with that save. I have actually had problems with my Joel, I think it was Joel or Jack. My Joel save. I've had problems with my Joel save because I removed all my mods. I can't remember what about 8 of them were, 8 to 10 of them were. So unfortunately, I think that is now a dead save for me, which is a pity because I did have quite a few nice mods on there, like storylines that I've... Anyway. And I think I've actually had dramas with my modded Jack version as well. But anyway, moving on. We're going to be using, as usual, the unmodded version of Jack. And if you do have an unmodded save, I recommend backing it up and storing it somewhere, just in case you do end up saving with mods in it. Because if you save this, if you go into your modded version and then save it with a mod installed, it will put in brackets modded. So modded. And I just do this more or less to prove to you guys that I'm using a vanilla game, which you saw when I was installing that all the files were vanilla, there were no extra mods installed. And 2, I'm using a vanilla save. So everything I'm showing you should work for a vanilla install. Now if you've got extra mods in there, and you're a manual downloader, I'm not gonna help you with your conflicts. That is a headache I don't want. I'll show you how to install the mods, not a problem. If you're having dramas installing the mods, that is no issue. I'll help you there. But if you have like 100 other mods installed, and you install one of the mods I'm showing you how to install, and you're having dramas with it because you have 100 other mods installed and you've installed them all manually, I'm sorry, that is one headache I don't want. Anyway, moving on. Let's load up the save. I'll see you in the save because I'm not running this off of a SSD like I normally do. I am currently running this off of quite a slow hard drive, so it might take 2 to 3 minutes to get through the first loading screen. So yeah, I will see you guys in the actual game. That's another thing, guys. I should mention that when you first mod your game, you'll get this little pop-ups thing here. Mods are currently loaded. Note, achievements are disabled. Do you wish to continue loading this save? So for all you new modders out there, if you're one of those must-have every achievement in the game kind of player, that's cool. You do you. But you can't do mods. You can't do mods if you want achievements. You can't do achievements if you want mods. It's unfortunately now it is one or the other. When I first started playing Skyrim, Fallout 3, all that good stuff. Actually, I don't believe this actually popped up with Fallout 3. I could be wrong. It's been a while. But anyway, I digress. You could mod your game, play it, and get the Steam achievements. But now Steam has cracked down on it. So if you've modded your game, you do not get the achievements. Oh, correction, I don't think it's just Steam. I think it's Steam and the game developers because of all the cheat mods. But I reckon they should reclassify certain mods. So like SKSE64 and SkyUI. They are in no way cheat mods. They do not give me an advantage in the game in any way, shape or form when it comes to combat, barter, sales, stats, anything. It's UI mod, user interface mod. It affects the way the game looks to me, not the way that the game is. It's a quality of life mod. Those should not be affected, I reckon. I reckon you should have them and be able to get your Steam achievements. But anyway, I've gone off on another rant when I didn't need to. So, yeah, I'm going to hit yes, and I'll see you guys in game. Okay, guys, here we are in game. I'm sorry, but you might have missed it. In the top left-hand corner, I had a notification. I am over encumbered, and anyone who's seen any of my previous videos knows that my Jack character at this particular save point is extremely over encumbered, and I complain about it every single damn time. I'm really going to have no mods installed, come back into this, dump all the weight, so when I come into these saves I am not seriously over encumbered. And the second notification that popped up was about the MCM menu. That tells me that SkyUI is working fine. Now to test this, I'm going to hit I, which will bring up my inventory. And there's that little notification again, I'm carrying too much, blah blah blah. So hit I, there's SkyUI. It's working fine. And I've installed this with 7-zip. I've installed this with WinRar, not 7-zip, with WinRar. So I'll talk more about when I get back to the desktop on what I think might have happened to other people that have tried to install this and have had no joy. But yeah, so as you can see, it's there. Let's open this up. Let's double check to actually. I'll close that down. I'll close down my inventory so you can actually see what I'm. So there, get SKSE version. It's still running. It's still the same. As you know, I haven't exited out of the game to correct something that I fixed. Otherwise, that top message would no longer be there. And yeah. But anyway, let's just check to make sure it's working properly. And for those of you who aren't aware, and I could be wrong, but as far as I've seen and as far as I'm aware, MCM is no longer a separate mod with Skyrim Special Edition. I believe with Skyrim you had SkyUI and MCM as two separate mods. Now SkyUI and MCM are one in the same mod. I believe you can still get MCM for Skyrim Special Edition if you don't want SKSE. If you don't want SkyUI. But I believe that MCM still requires SKSE to work. So if you don't want to download that, you may as well forget about all this. But anyway, yeah, let's check. We're up here in the search engine. Let's search for a bow. There's my bow. Let's search for an arrow. There's my arrows. I didn't even have to finish typing the word. I got 3 letters in. It popped up. Okay, let's go to the MCM menu and let's check hotkeys. See if we can assign hotkeys. Yeah, there it is. Mod configuration. MCM, SkyUI. We're laughing. We're not going to fully configure everything. Okay, group 1 is F1, group 2 is F2. Pardon me, guys. Sorry about the burps and the hiccups and whatnot. So on and so forth. Okay, usually when I play, I remap these. Something completely different. So I was just pretty much checking to see what their standard was. Okay, let's go to favorites. No, G, was it? Q, sorry, Q. Again, sorry, I'm using a keyboard. It's a bit here and there. Okay, so let's go Iron Greatsword. Let's classify that as a favorite to number 1. We will confirm that. Let's go Longbow as a favorite. We'll put that to number 2. And we will confirm. We will go these arrows as a favorite. We'll confirm that with number 2 so that when I select that particular bow, those particular arrows come out. We will confirm. And let's go. Do I have any more weapons on me? No, I've just got the 3. Okay, let's just repeat the Iron Greatsword favorites. Number 3. Confirm. What? No, I want Iron Greatsword favorite number 3. Confirm. And let's get rid of that. Confirm. Hit save. Add a group. Just double check that that's worked. Yep, that's worked. Okay. So got my greatsword, F1, F2 should swap to my bow, F3 back to my greatsword, F2 to my bow, F3, and then F1, which is already my greatsword. And yeah, there we have it. SKSE is working. SkyUI is working. I am actually going to quickly dump some stuff and go for a quick run around so you guys can see that it is all working fine. I'm still over encumbered. Oh wow, whatever that was just dropped my weight. There we go. I've really got to... One thing I dislike about Skyrim Special Edition is I'm sprinting right now and I can't jump. I don't know about you guys, but in real life, if I'm sprinting, I can sprint and then I can jump. I don't have to stop sprinting in order to jump. Now, I don't know why they didn't fix that. It's a royal pain. If memory serves, there should be some wolves around here so we can get a bit of a test on combat. There's a rabbit. Oh. And I think I've lost it. Yeah. It's the wolves I'm after. Be around here somewhere. Okay, this is weird.
Greetings, brother. You look weary. I have something to help you relax. If you're interested.
You know what, let's just get into combat. Push. 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 Yeah, combat's working fine.
Time for you to die.
Take an arrow to the knee. Oh, he just killed himself. But anyway, I'm just going to stop this guy so I can talk. May as well quickly loot him. Nothing of any... Oh, skooma. Nothing of any real interest. But, yeah, there you have it. I've shown it's worked. I've shown that it can be done, that with updated versions of everything, and mind you, I reinstalled Skyrim today. Fresh from Steam. So I completely deleted Skyrim from my system and then reinstalled it today. So as of the 1st of the 10th, 2018, I have the current build for Skyrim. I have the current SKSE build, and I have the current SkyUI 5 build. I'll put links in the description for everything below. And yeah, so this is pretty much... I will go back to the desktop and have a bit of a talk about certain things. But this is essentially where the manual install part ends. I'll have a bit of a rant. And then the other part starts for how to use Nexus. Now, if you're a manual modder... anyway, I'll save this for the desktop. I'll see you there. If you've already seen what you need to see, then have a good night or day or whatever. And yeah, you guys do you and have fun. If you're gonna hang around, then I'll catch you back on the desktop. Okay guys, here we are back again, and we're going to start the Vortex version of this video. So before I do that, I've got Vortex loading up. I actually need to undo nearly everything I've done. So to do that, I essentially need to remove the... Oh, for Pete's sake. Just cancel that off. Minimize that. I need to undo what I've just done with SkyUI, so I'm going to remove those, and it's the same as if I never installed it. So now I can close that down, open up Vortex, Skyrim, mods, no mods installed, downloads, nothing downloaded. Let's go to the SkyUI page. We are in Skyrim Special Edition. Oh, pardon me. And yeah, we are going to go from here. Now, there are two ways to get the mod. You can manually download it, which I've shown you how to do, or you can download with Manager. Now, I'll show you download with Manager. Just click download. This will pop up because it requires this. The mod author has said that this mod requires this in order for the mod to work correctly. So if you haven't downloaded it, you didn't read the requirements for whatever reason, then you just click on this link. It'll open up a new tab and take you directly to the page you need to go. If it's a page on Nexus, it'll open up the new another Nexus page and take you to that mod. You check the requirements on there. If that mod needs a requirement, you go and follow the links, so on and so forth, pretty much chasing the rabbit down the rabbit hole till you get to the end. And then you just work backwards. But in this case, it's just Skyrim Script Extender, which we already have installed. Now, Skyrim Script Extender needs to be manually installed regardless of whether you're using a mod manager or not. So if you've skipped to this part and you have no idea how to install Skyrim Script Extender, then jump back to where it has install of SKSE64. Watch that. As soon as I finish that, jump back to this video. Jump back to this part in the video, and away you go. And yeah, so we've already got that, so we're actually going to close that down, and we're going to hit download. Now for me, this pops up. For you, it might not happen. It might just start downloading. But for me, this pops up. Did I mean to do this? Yes. Do I want to try opening Vortex? Yes. And it will just start downloading through Vortex. There it is. It's downloading, pending. And we're done. This pops up. Now from this point, we can install this one of three ways. We can come to our downloads. We can install from here by clicking install. We can install from up here by clicking install. I'll just hit dismiss. Or we can go to the mods and we can go here and click install. Now for the sake of this video, I'm just going to show you it from here. Click install. It's installed it. Do I want to enable it? So at this point, after we've installed it, just like Nexus Mod Manager, where you had to highlight it and enable it, you've got to do something similar with Vortex, which is it comes disabled. You click disabled and it will enable it, or you can just click up here, click enable, and it will enable it. I'm going to click disable up here because I like doing it this way. You might prefer doing it up here. It's completely up to you. I'm going to click disable. It's now enabled. I'm seeing something happening down here with the plugins. I'm going to go in here. Yep. It's installed the plugin. It has enabled it. And a quick little side note. This little sign here is this picture of a spray bottle, which signifies that these files have been cleaned. Skyrim file has not been cleaned. Now, I'll probably do a video on how to clean this if you'd like. It doesn't really affect anything too much, except for if a mod tries to access a file and one of the dirty files gets in the way, then it can cause dramas later on. But if you guys want to see a video on that, let me know and I'll do a video on that and go into more detail. But in regards to this video, it's a bit out of the range of this video for now. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, now the proof is really in the pudding, I guess. So I'll see you in game to test to see if SkyUI works still. I'll catch you in game. Okay, here we are in game. Over encumbered as per usual. And there's in the top left, there's that MCM notification. Let's check to make sure SKSE is working. Get. No space. Get SKSE. Again, no space. Why do I keep hitting space? Version. Hit enter. Let's close that down. And now let's check to make sure SkyUI is working. And there you have it. It is still working. Bow. Yep. That's working fine. Let's check to make sure. Yep, that's all there. General. Controls. Yep. Exit out of that. Let's go to group. U2. Earlier in the video we did this, but the opposite way around. Greatsword was 1 and 2. And bow was... 1 and 3. And bow was number 2. Doing it the opposite way around. So, what do I have? I have the bow. It's F2. F3. F2. F1. And we're working. Let's see if combat. So make sure the game doesn't crash or anything like that. Bang. And he's... So, yeah, there you have it, guys. I'll meet you back on the desktop. For the WinRar users, you've got your WinRar how-to. For the 7-zip users, you have probably already seen my other videos, so you've got that. If not, you've got this. And for the Vortex users, you have that as well, all in one extra long video. So yeah, drop any comments below if you liked it. Let me know. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. And remember, mod the games you want to mod the way you want to mod them. Until next time, guys, have fun.